Hello friends, this video on crop production and management part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Topics to be covered in this lesson are crop production practices, soil preparation, sowing, manure, fertilizers, irrigation, traditional methods of irrigation, modern methods of irrigation, protection against weeds, harvesting, and storage. So what do you think are we going to learn in crop production and management? So basically here let us try to see what is this crop production and management related to. Our little friend went to visit a village very recently during his last vacation. And he was so amazed to find that a village looked so different from that of a busy city life. Like in cities, we find tall buildings, a lot of vehicles, lot of traffic, lot of pollution, less greenery. However, in a village, he could see vast green fields, a lot of small houses, a lot of open space, and he was so much excited to see the green fields all around. Now, do you know the significance of these vast green fields? What are they used for? How are those green fields useful to us? In fact, useful to each and every human being. So these vast green fields are used for agricultural purposes. Now, you might be thinking, what do we mean by agriculture? So until and unless you don't know what is agriculture, how will you understand what do we mean by agricultural purpose? So let us see, what is agriculture? Agriculture is the practice of farming. And what do we mean by farming? Farming is nothing but taking care of plants to grow more and more crops. When I say crops, you might be thinking what again is a crop? Well, when we talk about farming, in very simple words, what we mean is to farm or to grow fruits and vegetables and other eatables which can be eaten by human beings. For example, all of us are surviving, and for survival, one basic thing that we all need is food. And what do we eat in the form of food? Either fruits or vegetables or grains, for example, rice, wheat or pulses, something of that sort, or we depend on other animals. For example, we eat fish, meat, eggs, or some animal products like milk and other dairy products. So these are the food items which we normally eat, right? So in order to provide these food items to us, somebody needs to grow them. So that is what is called as agriculture. So agriculture would include cultivation of crops, where different types of crops will be cultivated. Now, a little later, we will talk about what is a crop. I mean, how exactly do we define a crop? So we will explain that a little later. Rearing of animals. Now, what do we mean by rearing? Rearing means taking care and bringing up animals for human benefit. Now, animals can benefit us in a lot of ways. For example, they can provide us milk which we can consume and which has a lot of nutrition. So, for example, cow, buffalo, goat, they all provide us milk. They can also provide us eggs. For example, if you think of chickens, so we also eat them, we also eat their eggs. So eggs, milk, meat, these are some of the animal products which are rich in many proteins or carbohydrates and thus are consumed by human beings. Now, if I want to drink milk coming out of a cow, so I also need to take care of that cow. So that is basically called rearing of animals, and all these things are taken care under animal husbandry. So what do we mean by animal husbandry? So this entire concept of taking care of animals, bringing them up for human benefit in the form of milk or eggs or meat. So that entire concept that entire process is known as animal husbandry. So we will discuss animal husbandry in detail later. So what I'm trying to say is, when we talk about agriculture is not only about growing fruits and vegetables, it also includes rearing of animals. I mean, basically agriculture talks about everything which we consume in the form of food. So agriculture is the practice of farming which grows everything which can be consumed by human beings in the form of food. So that is agriculture. Now the question is, our little friend wants to know, why do we cultivate crops or rear animals? I mean, how important is to have food? Basically, that is what he's trying to ask. So let us answer him. How important is agriculture? Now, just for a moment, think of anything that you eat. Now, if I tell that, okay, from today, there is going to be no agriculture, we are not going to grow anything, you will not get any fruit, vegetable or milk, meat, anything available in the market. So you can start eating up the table, you can start eating up the chair. So do we eat all those stuffs? No, we don't. So what do we eat? So we eat either fruits or vegetables in some or the other form, either raw or cooked. Or we eat animal products like meat, fish or egg, or maybe food grains, for example, rice, wheat, corn, or even if you're fast food, if you consider the pizzas and the burgers which you eat when you go out. So from what are they made up of? Even they in turn are made up of, what is your bread? Bread is nothing but made up of wheat. Again, if you talk about the juices, which the packed tinned juices which you drink, they are also derived from some of the fruits or the fruit's flavor. So directly or indirectly, they are all dependent on the basic fruits, vegetables or the cereals. Or your dairy products, again, they are also obtained from animals. So whatever we eat or drink, or in fact the food items on the basis of which we are able to survive, so they all need to be produced at the same time. Now just think about it. We all eat fruits and vegetables and all these, some of these stuffs. Now do you think, for example, you eat one apple every day, or any other fruit or any other vegetable, whatever you eat every day. So from where do you get them? Your mom prepares them for you. But from where do you get the vegetables? Maybe from the vegetable market, right? So, but from where does these vegetables come to the vegetable market? Because we are not growing these fruits and vegetables at our home, right? I don't think a lot of us are doing that. That means somebody else is doing that for us. Now, if whoever is doing that for us, if he stops doing that, what's going to happen to us? We are not going to get any of these food items and we are actually going to starve. So that important is agriculture. So food is required for the survival of not only you and me, but of the entire population. So the entire population is dependent on food, and food is derived directly or indirectly from plants and animals. So now you can imagine how important is food for the entire human population, because this entire population of human beings, they eat food, the food gets digested inside their body, and then the food provides energy to each one of us to perform various activities. So if there is no food, we will not have energy to do anything, and gradually we will fall weak and the human race will not be able to survive without food. Therefore, food production has to be there to fulfill the needs of the human population. And food production, the process of food production is basically taken care by agriculture. So that is where agriculture plays a very important role. So with this, I hope that I have been able to answer the question that why is agriculture or why is cultivation of crops so important. So our focus in this lesson is going to be on basically three things: food production, food storage, and food distribution. So now, are we all set to start learning about each of this? Yes, looks like everybody is ready now. So with this brief introduction on this lesson, we will first talk about food production. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.